Hello people, how are you all doing? I would like to talk about the whole Keaton Jones situation. But first, just go watch Philip DeFranco's video about it. Everyone should know who Philip DeFranco is by now. If you don't know who he is, search for him or just click on the link in the description below and watch his video. Him and his team, they do a good job at trying to find accurate information about the stories they talk about, and you know, it's a good video, so go check it out. Two things I would like to point out real quick from his video is that Keaton's mom and the whole family, really, they're being accused of being racist right now. But it seems that the GoFundMe that was set up for him, it might have been by a third party, not by an actual family member. And also there's that MMA fighter, I guess, who messaged the mom, and it turns out the account he was messaging might not have actually been the mom. It was probably a troll. But there's a lot of things that aren't really clear right now, so we just gotta wait to get the full story, I guess. But anyway, let's go back to a few days ago. I was on Facebook and I saw the video of Keaton, the video his mom took of him, where he was, explaining what happened, being picked on, and, was crying a bit. And it was sad. It was really sad. It made me feel bad. And the next day, I get on Twitter, and oh my God, the video was everywhere. It was shared by Dana White, and just a lot of people, just everyone. And and people, the celebrities, they were offering him things to come to movie premieres and events and all this stuff. And at that moment, what popped in my head was, what popped in my head at that moment was, this is great that this is getting all this attention, but it's almost as if these people, they have no clue that this whole bullying problem, it's everywhere. It's more widespread than people think it is. It's happening all the time. Over the years, I've heard many stories of kids being bullied at school, and it's shit that happens at school. Kids are getting bullied. Kids who are, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they're bullying, they're being bullied, they're engaging in sexual activity. There's kids doing drugs. There's kids smoking weed. All this shit is happening way more than people think it is. I guarantee you. And it's a problem. And also, you have all these parents who give their little kids smartphones with unrestricted access to the internet, which is obviously not a good idea. So there's a bunch of shit going on with little kids and with teenagers that should not be going on. And parents aren't doing their part to make sure that it doesn't happen. But anyway, yeah. Where was I? Oh, okay. The celebrities were showing their support for Keaton, and a bunch of people were sharing the video around and all of that good stuff. And then the very next day, all hell broke loose because people or someone found photos of the mom and the family with Confederate flags. And someone on social media, on Twitter, I think, said that the mom was apparently talking shit about Black Lives Matter. And then there's also the whole thing that Keaton might have used the N-word at school when he was dealing with those kids. So, a few things I would like to point out real quick. Owning a Confederate flag does not make someone racist. You might think it does, but it doesn't. Sure, there are a lot of racist people who have Confederate flags, but not all of them are racist. Okay? Second, I don't know if the whole thing about her shit-talking Black Lives Matter is true or not, but even if it is, talking shit about Black Lives Matter does not make someone racist, because in the eyes of a lot of people, including myself, Black Lives Matter is a hate group. Yes, there are a lot of good people who associate themselves with Black Lives Matter, people who just want to be heard, people who want justice for black people who they feel that were unjustly killed by police, and that's understandable. But there are also a lot of horrible people who associate themselves with Black Lives Matter, people who have taken part in rioting, people who have called for violence toward white people, people who have called for violence toward cops. So there's a lot of stupidity involved with Black Lives Matter. So if someone's talking shit about them, it doesn't make that person racist. Also, and then third, there's the whole thing about Keaton using the N-word at school. And, you know, if he did, then yes, that's bad. It's not good at all. It's very bad. But once that info came out on social media, everyone suddenly started acting like Keaton is the bad guy in this situation. And let me just do this real quick. It's completely possible that Keaton does go to school and acts like a little asshole and goes around talking shit to the black kids and calls them the N-word, and one of them got pissed off about it and hit him or something. That's completely possible. It's also possible that these kids were just picking on Keaton because, you know, they were making fun of the way he looks, and they were just being little assholes toward him. And he probably, out of anger, used the racial slur against them. And people seem to think, if that's true, if that's what happened, then no, he's not the bad guy. The other kids are still in the wrong. But, yes, he's in the wrong for using the word. But you can't just hate him for it because he's a freaking kid. And, you know, it's not like he can choose who he grows up around. We don't know if it's possible his family is racist. His mom might be racist. His family might be racist. Or, you know, one or two of his family members might be racist. We don't fucking know. It's possible that he's heard an uncle or a grandfather or his dad or someone use the racial slang when talking about black people. And, yeah. Is it okay that he used the word? If he did use the word, is it okay that he used it? No, not at all. But the fact, if the word doesn't change the situation is what I'm saying. If those kids were the instigators, they are still in the wrong. But he definitely was wrong too if he used the word against them. But what needs to happen here is Keaton's mom, or mom and dad, need to talk to the other kids' parents. The parents need to come together and talk to each other like, you know, decent human beings, and actually, you know, and have the kids with them too, so the kids can apologize and talk to each other, and hopefully things will be better going forward for all of them, because overall, we want these kids to grow up as good, decent people. We don't want them growing up to be assholes. So their parents need to do the right thing for them and just, you know, talk it out. Which would be a very reasonable thing to do. But unfortunately, a lot of people these days are not very reasonable. Yeah. Here's the thing. There's a lot of people believing Keaton's family, like there's a lot of people believing the Keaton side, and there's a lot of people on social media believing the other side. We're in the wrong. But overall, we do not know exactly who was the instigator. Overall, they just need to talk it out and stop. Hopefully not let all the insanity on social media get to them. And back to Philip DeFranco's video. Yeah. Once that info came out, a bunch of people started, attacking the mom and the family on social media. But it's entirely possible that it was just trolls. It might have been a troll on that account pretending to be the mom who was messaging the fucking MMA fighter guy. And whoever set up that GoFundMe, it's entirely possible that the family doesn't even know that person. But even if it is a family friend, or if it was a family member, I mean, that's their business. If people want to donate to them and they're willing to accept it, that's their business. Yeah. And there were also people on social media talking about how there were 2 recent suicides, little girls, 2 girls who, I think within the past 2 or 3 weeks, they hung themselves because of bullying. And I saw those stories shared on Facebook, but I guess they didn't get like massive national attention from everybody like this thing with Keaton is. So people were kind of pissed off about that. And yeah, it's wrong. It sucks that those girls died, and it really sucks that they died, and it also sucks that, the kids or whoever caused them to kill themselves probably aren't going to face much punishment for it. Over the years, I've heard about a lot of kids committing suicide because of being bullied. And I think about, sometimes I think about the people who caused them to kill themselves. Those people, they get to continue on with their lives. And, I just hope that those people, they live with regrets. I hope they are hunted by what they did. They caused people to kill themselves, and it's not okay. I think there needs to be much harsher punishments for these people. For example, if a kid in school commits suicide, and people know who is responsible for it, that person, it doesn't matter, in my opinion, it doesn't matter if they're underage or not. It should be at least an automatic 5-year prison sentence at least. It's not acceptable for these people to taunt someone to the point that they kill themselves. It's not okay. And we need to stop letting it happen so much. There needs to be harsher punishments, or else it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. Again, kids in my state, kids all in other states, kids all over the United States and all over the world, they go to school and they deal with all kinds of fucking bullshit. There's bullies. There's those who get bullied. There's kids engaging in sexual activity when they're probably only like 10 fucking years old. There's kids who are doing drugs. There's kids who are smoking weed. No one under the age of 18 should be smoking weed unless they really need it for some reason. But yeah, there's just a lot of shit happening that should not be happening. Overall, everyone needs to talk to their kids about this stuff. Even if you don't think there's something going on with your child, you need to talk to them. If it's brought to your attention that your kid might be an asshole, might be acting like an asshole at school, you need to do about it. Do not be one of those parents who says, "Oh no, my kid isn't like that. My kid isn't bad." Don't do that. People need to stop doing that. You need to confront your kids. You need to hold your children accountable for their bullshit, for their horrible ways. You need to do that. You need to get them on the right path. I understand, parents, people have jobs. You're busy. You're not able to always be there to guide your kid. But again, you had the kid, you know, you're the parent. It is your responsibility to help guide them from their childhood into their teen years, and hopefully, you know, just teach them to become good, decent people by the time they become adults. And yeah, just do your part. Everyone needs to do a little bit more to try and be better. There's always been bullying. There's always going to be bullying. But again, people need to try to do better. Teach your kids not to be assholes. Teach your kids not to, you know, talk to your children. Don't teach them to hate someone because of the color of their skin, or because they might look weird, or because they might act weird. You know, teach your children to go up to people and ask them if they want to hang out at school and stuff like that. You know, you should want them to become friends, not hate anyone. And you also need to teach your kids if you think your child might be one of those who are getting picked on, you need to teach them to stand up for themselves. I don't think it's okay to call kids like weak or anything like that, but you have to make sure your child, you have to let them know that if something is happening to them, if they're getting picked on or whatever, they need to feel comfortable enough to come to you about it, tell you about it. And you got to try to help them in some way. Go to the school and raise hell. Talk to the principal. Do something. But I know that in some situations, the schools won't do shit, you know. One of my nieces, I think it was late last year or early this year, one of my nieces was getting picked on at school by some girl. And I asked my niece, like, are you doing anything to, you know, provoke this type of behavior from her? And she's like, no, my niece is a very friendly girl. She's not mean at all. So I couldn't figure out why this girl was picking on her. And one day during lunchtime, the girl came up behind her and it hit her in the back of the head. My niece fell to the ground and the girl just kept hitting her. And, you know, my sister, she would talk to the principal, and I think she even ended up calling the cops. And I guess the girl got, like a 2-week suspension or something. But yeah, nothing was really done about it. And we found out that the girl, a few years ago, she was picking on some other kid too. It's like she just targets someone and ends up picking on them and wanting to hurt them. So it happens. This shit happens all the time, more than you think it does. But now things are good. My niece and the girl, they're in different schools now, so my niece doesn't have to deal with that nonsense. But some other kids are probably having to put up with it. And who knows why that girl acts that way. I think, you know, that stuff probably goes back to what happens at home. You know, a lot of these kids who go around bullying others, you know, they're probably dealing with all types of shit at home. They might be getting hit, you know, by their parents or guardians. They might be getting abused in some way, or getting yelled at all the time, or it's just a number of reasons for what could be causing it, but it's likely something that is happening at home. And see, that's the thing. There's a lot of horrible people out there who don't act right around kids, and the kids end up being assholes too. So it's a fucking problem that needs to. More people need to work toward doing something about it, seriously. But yeah, again, I don't know what exactly the whole situation is with Keaton Jones, if he was the one who instigated everything, or if the other kids were. No one on the internet knows. Only them. Only they know. And it's their word against the other, and these people are going to believe these people. These people are going to believe these people. Overall, the parents need to be mature about it and talk to each other, and they need to have their kids talk to each other too. Are they going to do that? Probably not, but hopefully they do, because that would be the best thing to do, and, you know, hopefully they can be friends going forward, but, yeah. Another thing I would like to bring up is, you know, in Keaton's video, in that video of Keaton, there's that part, I forgot exactly how he worded it, but he says it's not okay to, you know, criticize people for being different. And if he was going around using the N-word, then, you know, it wouldn't make sense for him to do that and then to say you shouldn't criticize people for being different, because, you know, it wouldn't make sense for him to say that after he called a kid the N-word. You know, he's calling someone a racial slur because they're a different color than him. So, to me, it just doesn't make sense that he would do that and then go on the video and say those words. So, I don't know, man. I don't think Keaton just goes walking around at school and acts like an asshole to other kids just to do it. He might, but I doubt it. I'm thinking it's possible. I mean, him and the other kids, they probably just like act like assholes toward each other, and he's probably more of a loner while they're in a group, and so, you know, with the insults being thrown around, it got a little too far out of hand, and he got angry and used the racial slur, and all this shit happens. Who the fuck knows, man? I don't know. None of us do. But people need to stop picking on Keaton, you know, because once people found out about the Confederate flag and everything, some fuckers suddenly decided that it was okay to go on social media and turn the boy into a meme and start making fun of the way he looks. And that's not okay. That's not okay at all. Yeah, and that just shows how fucking horrible people are on the internet. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. I wish Keaton and his family the best, and I wish the other family the best. If Keaton's family are like, if they're racist, you know, they need to stop that shit. If again, we don't have all the info. If there's more stuff that comes out and proves that the mom is racist, then yeah, she should be shamed for it. But again, it's not the boy's fault that he's living in that environment. You can't blame him. I mean, you can blame him if he keeps, like, if this shit continues, if the anger between the kids keep escalating or whatever, and he keeps acting out, or if they keep acting out against each other, then yeah, that's not good. So, but right now, we can't blame the kids. The parents need to just do their part and try to teach their kids better going forward. Yeah, so people on the internet, stop being assholes about it, please. And everyone, you know, I'm going to stop the video here in a minute. I know I'm just pretty much repeating myself now. Everyone, just do better, please. I know you probably don't think this stuff is very serious, but it's more serious than a lot of people probably think it is. Talk to your kids, talk to your friends, whatever. Just talk to your kids. Teach them to be good people. We need to do better, and we need better people. Because there's a lot of kids out there who are complete assholes, teenagers, young adults who weren't raised good, and we don't need more kids growing up to be like that. We need good people. So teach your kids to be good, nice, respectful, decent, disciplined people. You know, just, you know, we need more awesome people and less dickhead people, you know? Yeah. I think there's more things I wanted to say in this video, but I kind of forgot. So, I don't know. Just do better, please. And, yeah. Don't be a bully. And if you're being bullied, just find someone to talk about it. Reach out to someone, and yeah. Again, if your kids are being bullied, or if you think they might be being bullied, try to teach them to stand up for themselves in some way. Maybe have them join a karate class or some type of self-defense class, just something to build up their confidence. You don't want them to continually get bullied. Alright? Okay, humans. Be good.